Von Allen Sports.
This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching Von Allen Sports. Real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go!
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hello.
So, right off the bat, I just want to say that we have Tyree Vaughn, who upgraded his membership to Praetorian Governor or an Artist. Thank you so much, Tyree. I really appreciate it, man. It's awesome. Just want to say happy Halloween to you guys.
Happy Halloween.
And as per usual, I'd like to wait 2-3 minutes while it's on to get past the you know, the YouTube algorithm thing. But let's see who's all here so far. Of course, Felicia's here. Nice to see it. See it twice. Daniel's here. Michael Swearingen. Tiffany, did you receive the gift I sent you? Thomas Allen's here. Blacker58. Turbulent Velocity, who is now going to be working for Von Allen Sports very soon. So, Dennis Dinnerling, all the way from Germany. He's up late. Appreciate it, man. See, guys, that's dedication right there. That is a real fan right there. I love you guys, man. Y'all are awesome. Michael Brown is here.
Really? Hi.
And scared for some reason.
Oh.
See, Celtics Nation, salute.
Hello.
Pickle Dick's here. We got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. I have a lot I want to cover. You guys are going to like this show, I think. I'm pretty sure. So, Brian Magnum is here.
Ooh, we have a new member.
We have a new member, Michael Brown. Awesome, guys. Ooh, you know, that means we're only 2 away from 50. So, and the membership starts at only $2. It's pinned at the top if you want to join. It's also in the description of this show. Thank you so much, Mike. He has joined Centurion and Master of Games. Nightly Sinister is here. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, Kevin.
And I think there's a time zone change tonight, is there not?
Is there?
Yeah.
There's more people here. Nightwalker's here.
Let's hope that the NFL doesn't give me crap for this.
Oh.
So.
We have more people joining. Hello, guys.
Forgot to open up the bottle.
Ah.
Oh, speaking of bottle, I want to show you guys something.
Nice.
Something I forgot to show. Just a second.
Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to say hello to who else is here. See it twice, not sure if he said hello. We have Nightwalker and Ozzy. I'm not sure what's your real name. Hello. Who else? We have Dennis. We already said that. Oh, Pedro. Hi, Pedro. How are you?
You guys remember my birthday was around the time of the Bucks Patriots game. Well, as you guys know, one of our longest members here, his real name's Patrick, but we call him, and you guys know him as Bitcoin Motorist. This is what he brought.
Yes.
Macallan. This is Macallan whiskey. This is one of the best scotches you can get. Okay, and it's fantastic. And I just wanted to show that off because that was a really thoughtful gift, a really nice gift. Because Macallan whiskey is a very nice whiskey. So that's not 7-Eleven bought, ladies and gentlemen. That's the good stuff. All right. So, and I forgot to even mention that the other night. So I just wanted to show that off and say thank you to Patrick. Thank you, Bitcoin Motorist, for doing that, man. You are awesome. I don't know if you're watching tonight, but if you are, that was a stand-up gift. So Oh, no. Scotch, the best. So, I know. People from the South. I'm from the South. I'm supposed to say, Tennessee whiskey is the best. But no. There's nothing better than that. So.
We just got an upgrade, too. Tyree
Yeah,
upgraded.
Whoa!
To Admiral General.
Tyree Vaughn upgraded again 2 times in one night to Admiral General Senator. Admiral General, that is a big step. That's the middle tier. That's a big one. That's a massive one right there. Thank you so much. That was a lot of torque. That was
a lot of
an
torque.
Extreme amount of torque.
Okay, just plenty of torque for Tyree. Just gonna type.
And it's time at Halloween when I start to remember being a kid and how much fun it was. I can't tell you how big of a deal Halloween is, or was. I don't know if it still is, but was when I was young and where I lived. We lived in a small town, and the whole town really got involved, and it was just there was always a few houses, a few people who went all the way on it, and they would set up haunted houses and stuff. It was just awesome, and I hope you guys are going to have a good Halloween. So I know they're trying to kill every holiday now with all the bull crap going on, but no, have fun, take your kids. So look at all that torque, man. There's a lot of torque in the comment section.
Yes.
Absolutely, turbulent velocity. Absolutely, you can have a drink. And by the way, Patrick needs to come back over. So, all right. So you guys might be wondering why I'm starting the show unusually not talking about the Patriots or Tom Brady. The reason I'm not starting the show out like that tonight is because I have some things to say about the Thursday night game. The Thursday night game between the Cardinals and the Packers. Now, first of all, what I've told you guys here before is that anytime I'm wrong or I've been proven wrong or in the case of I am down on something and then somebody shows me something, I've always been one to Tiffany, she's got a good feel for what's coming, so
Rent incoming. Yeah.
But yeah. You know what that is.
Yeah.
These people are
amazing neighbors who cook around
you know
this
what?
time.
You know what? I'm about to go psycho neighbor on these people. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
I've always been it's always been an important part of this channel to be authentic and to be truthful and to admit reality. Unlike most outlets where even the pundits who are scripted, they don't even write into the script when they're wrong and to actually admit it and then come back and talk about it. Where was I wrong? I was wrong that I picked the Cardinals to win this game. I said that this would not be the game where they lose their first one. So yes, that I was wrong about that. I will say, however, comma, pause for effect. Okay, I will say that it should have been won by the Cardinals. But shoulda, woulda, coulda isn't any good in this league because the standings only know if you won or lost. And that's the truth. That's how it is. We're going to talk about 3 people tonight at this game particularly. Kyler Murray, football baby.
Football baby.
Aaron Rodgers, douchebag.
Well, no. A bad man.
Bad man, literally bad man. Okay. And my favorite person of the week, AJ Green. So
Oh,
let's talk about AJ Green.
He used to be on my fantasy football.
Yeah,
List.
he was on your fantasy football team for a long time, and you won a lot of games. In fact,
What happened to him?
We
he
ended-
played
we-
so well for my fantasy.
yeah, we ended our 10-year fantasy league, and you guys might not realize this, but Milena was the GOAT. She
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the,
it is my
she
ring.
was the, oh, you're wearing it tonight. Okay,
Yeah.
that's her championship ring. She's the GOAT of our fantasy
I'm not showing
league.
anybody a finger though.
But-
it won't be that finger.
Yeah,
anymore.
AJ Green, you had him several years.
Yeah. Anyway.
But AJ Green, at first, I posted some things out of emotion on Twitter and in the YouTube community section and on Facebook, where I said that I called AJ Green some names for looking for a flag. That pissed me off. I deleted those comments because I said some really, really hardcore stuff. But I thought, you know what? I'll just correct this. So, the first thing is this. AJ Green was not looking for a flag. I watched it over again. Let's see here.
What was he doing then? I thought he was looking for the flag.
Okay. So he wasn't looking for a flag. I thought he was, because that's what it appeared to me in the moment. And then as soon as the play happened, like everybody else, I reacted. Okay? And after looking at it several times, I finally figured out what he actually was doing. So no, I apologize, AJ Green, when I called you a pansy. When I said you were a wuss for looking for a flag and worrying about the flag instead of that. The reason I thought he was looking for a flag is because the first person he looked at was the side judge. But upon further review, because I originally called him a pansy and an idiot. Okay?
Yeah, because he's more worried about the flag.
Right. So I called him a pansy and an idiot.
Right.
My apology is for the first part. You're not a pansy because you were not looking for a flag. I can see that.
Okay.
So let's watch. See how he look? Okay, so he wasn't looking at the line judge. He was generally looking at anybody. Okay? But you are an idiot. So I will apologize for calling you a pansy, but you are an idiot. Now, I want you guys to understand something. This is the kind of ineptitude that comes from being a Cincinnati Bengal. And if there are any Bengals fans out there, I have never actually met one. I don't even know if they exist outside of Cincinnati. But I'm certain you're going to agree with me, especially from the decades and decades of ineptitude and idiocy ran by your owner. I cannot believe he is the procreation of the late, great Paul Brown. So his son is a complete moron. But what you saw with AJ Green is the tutelage of idiocy in Cincinnati. This is what Belichick calls situational football. Situational football. Now, what does that mean? In this case, you've got Kyler Murray busting his ass, okay? But situational football, this is what situational football tells you. Now, first of all, most people would say, not most people, but some people would say, okay, AJ Green made a mistake. He didn't get the play. Or he didn't understand the play. All right, how about this then? Here's my rebuttal. What about when Kyler audibled? All right, so he wasn't paying attention. What AJ did here is it's obvious that he is blocking. It's obvious that he thinks that this is a run. He thinks this is a run play. Yeah. AJ, it's 2nd and goal, and there's 15 seconds left, and the Cardinals have no timeouts. Situational football. If you understood the situation, you knew, even if you didn't get the play, even if you didn't even hear the audible, how would you assume that that's a run play? You have to know that you're the target. You got a guy one-on-one. This is zero coverage. Now, I usually don't mention technical stuff all the time because, well, first of all, I think the best speakers that can reach people are ones who simplify, okay? But the second reason is because the technical side of this stuff is really said so well by Kurt Warner's new channel. By the way, check it out. It's amazing. I'm not going to compete with that, okay? But in this case, it matters. So in this coverage, A.J. Green knows he's got one-on-one. That means anybody out there, all you guys would agree, that it is a touchdown, okay? That's a touchdown. So A.J. Green should have known that this was the case. Who the hell are you blocking, dude? I mean, did you think it was coming from there? I mean, I don't even understand what he was doing here. But anyway, situational football would tell you this is a pass. It has to be. Because with 15 seconds left, no timeouts, you either throw an incompletion, as in it hits the ground or it goes out of bounds or Kyler throws it away, or it's a touchdown. There is no in between. There is no running because if you get stopped, you might not set up the field goal in time. You could spike it, but that's still risky. It was clearly a setup for a pass, okay? So this is situational football here, 101. This is a lack of education in football. Now, A.J. Green's been around a long time. He should have known better. But was he ever taught situational football in Cincinnati? And I'll point to this. What happened when Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, came to the New England Patriots? He couldn't get the offense. He couldn't figure it out. He spent his whole career in Cincinnati. What happened when Terrell Owens went to Cincinnati? What was Terrell Owens complaining about? He said the offense was too simple. He said we couldn't, and he had a good year. He had 10 touchdowns, I believe, that year. That was pretty good for an old guy at the time, relatively speaking. But what was his one complaint? That it wasn't complex enough when he was in Cincinnati. He said most of the routes were very basic, and when he wanted to try to expand, because we all know Terrell Owens, when it comes to route running and knowing how to play the position, he's one of the greatest of all time. This is a Cincinnati Bengal thing. And guys, this is what I'm talking about when I keep talking about these bad organizations. People say, oh, well, Aaron, the Bengals are good this year. Oh, okay. Stop the press. Okay, so they've won some games, finally, for the first time. And how long? And it's, what, we're going into week 8. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-effing-doo. All right? So, especially, another situational football moment. A.J. Green knew that DeAndre Hopkins was hurt. Because that play would have gone to Hopkins, okay? It would have gone to him. But the Packers gave you what you needed to make that play. If A.J. Green just turns around, all he's got to do is turn to his left, and that is a touchdown. Done deal. Even the Packers defender was surprised by it because he was like, oh, look, a tipped ball. What the hell?
Yeah, it was bad.
This is just a mental...
Yep.
So anyway, so we know that. Kyler Murray. All right, I've been hard on football, baby. I've been hard on him since he was drafted. I said it was a waste of a first overall pick. Because when you make a first overall pick, what is a first overall pick? When you take a quarterback number 1 overall and you're betting the farm on this guy because you're going to have to give him a big contract and he's not even played it down in the NFL. Constantly we have this happen. When was the last time a first overall pick actually was what they were supposed to be?
Delivered.
Yeah, so
Sure.
if I own a team and I have the number 1 overall pick and I need a quarterback, I need this guy to change my franchise. I need him to win me a Super Bowl. And I'm expecting him to contend for the Hall of Fame one day. That's what you're wanting when you get a quarterback first overall. Now, is it unreasonable to expect him to be Peyton Manning, who was number 1 overall? Or John Elway? Is that? Okay. Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. And what I mean by that is that's exactly what that is for. That's exactly the expectation. And like I said, if you end up being a top 20, top 30 player all time, but that's what you're hoping for. And you're definitely winning a Super Bowl. So when I said that, my opinion was Kyler is never going to be able to deliver on that. And not only is he not going to be able to deliver on that, I said that he'll be not starting in the league within 5-6 years. He'll be a backup somewhere or playing baseball. Kyler Murray really impressed me Thursday night. And he played very, very well. And that last drive, being in his own end zone, there was almost a safety, by the way. That running back, he was stuffed and he got out, but that was awesome. But Kyler Murray made some amazing throws, man, some amazing plays. He did his job. That really impressed me. It doesn't change my original opinion, okay? And it's not that I have something against Kyler Murray or anything like that personally. I mean, we joke around here about him. You know, we like him. I just don't like that type of quarterback for longevity and for, you know, winning Super Bowls and constantly going to the Super Bowl and things like that. Maybe you could have a one-off season. But I will give him credit that he really did impress me. And I was like, damn. That drive, during that drive, up until that idiotic moment that A.J. Green went complete, you know, total Rob Parker on us, I was jumping out of my seat. He got me out of my seat. I was yelling, let's go, as if we were watching the Patriots or Brady and the Bucks. He had me going. I was like, damn, this is awesome. This is his moment. And you know what? A.J. Green robbed Kyler Murray of his moment. That was his moment right there. That was Kyler's. That was primetime TV. It was on Fox. It was on Amazon. Everyone was watching this game. It was a great matchup. And A.J. Green robbed Kyler Murray of showing everybody that I've arrived in the NFL. I'm here. I'm a quarterback. I'm a real quarterback. And that was his moment right there. And it got taken from him. But I still want to give Kyler, that was not his fault. That was a touchdown pass. That was a touchdown pass. That was for the win right there. All A.J. Green had to do was turn. That's it. Because I like Kyler, I think he gets a lot of crap, including from me. But because I like him, and I want him to do good, I want him to overcome that, you know, the stigma that, you know, guys that small and, you know, can't win and, you know, can't last in the NFL. So I want that to happen, but I just don't think that's the case. When I looked at him and evaluated him when he was coming out of the draft, there's a lot missing. And I also don't think that Arizona was the place for that to work either. So I thought that he was getting double whammied. Let's remember that this Cardinals team, they had to bring in how many offensive weapons? You know, they're basically playing Mahomes ball, where you throw it up and you hope someone catches it, except Kyler's not as good as Mahomes. And then he's got a offensive happy head coach, and one of those type that wants to live vicariously through their quarterback. If you guys remember Cliff Kingsbury, he was a quarterback briefly. And so that's kind of his deal, you know. I just didn't think that the environment and the culture there is not really going to help someone like him that's going to need a lot of attention. Drew Brees was lucky because Drew was already pretty good, and he was on the Chargers, but he went to New Orleans with Sean Payton, and that worked out great. But that's a rare occurrence. That's not normal. I don't believe that Cliff Kingsbury is a Sean Payton or ever will be. So their defense is really good. So let's hope that he defies that, because that would be cool, because I like him. Now, he is not MVP. I don't know why people are saying that. If he had won that game, then I could see people being excited and maybe talking about that. Right now, the MVP is Tom Brady. All right? Every metric you want says that Tom Brady is the MVP. If you're not picking Tom Brady for MVP right now, if you're not saying that he's in the lead. Now, I normally don't like to even talk about this stuff until like week 10. I think it's kind of pointless. But everybody can't shut up about it, so I finally got to say something. And, Jalen asked me last week about it, so I'm finally just giving my opinion. It's Tom Brady right now, if it was the season was to end today. But that means nothing. We have a lot left to go. Yeah, people, I will not get the jab. Love your name, by the way. Doug Flutie, people bring him up a lot, but Doug Flutie's not a good example. Doug Flutie was never a good NFL quarterback. He's not somebody I would say, look at this guy, because of him, you can be that. That's not really something that I would use. He had his moments in college, and of course he had that big moment with Boston College and the Hail Mary and all that. But people mention Doug Flutie quite a bit. I just don't think that's a good example when you're drafting a guy number 1 overall. Now, if Kyler had been drafted in the 3rd or 4th or 5th round, then you could say, okay, Doug Flutie, all right, cool, so use him as an example. But no, Kyler's expected to be Peyton Manning. I mean, look at your number 1 overall picks. So you got Sam Bradford, complete fail. You got Cam Newton, who was good for a while. He got him to the Super Bowl. That's pretty cool. He got an MVP. Had a 15-1 season. But can anyone honestly say that Cam lived up to what he was expected to be? Carolina Panthers certainly expected multiple Super Bowl wins. And at the very least, multiple MVPs. That's what you're expecting from these guys. So, even let's say Alex Smith. Okay, Alex Smith was number 1 overall. And what happens is that you're asked to be, when you're number 1 overall, it means that you're going to a garbage team, first of all. Second, you're being asked to save that team. So you look at Trevor Lawrence right now and how the Jaguars are and stuff. It's going to be a while before that gets going. So you're expecting a lot. And that's how I judge it.
So you're saying that Tom Brady is the MVP so far?
If the MVP was voted on today, Tom Brady is the MVP, yes.
So I was listening to the Herd today.
Oh, God.
And he said that Tom Brady is not the most skillful player. Aaron Rodgers is, and Mahomes is. But Tom Brady is not.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about Colin Cowherd, like when he said, you're talking about the part where he said to Joy, Tom Brady is not the most skilled player in the league.
Yes.
The most skilled player is Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. So that kind of threw me off, because I'm like, okay, so what's the definition of skillful? Is it the angle of the this and the this, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just
I'm going to let you take this one.
things that don't make complete sense. What are you doing? Okay.
I'm letting you take this one.
Oh, you letting me do a rant? A mini rant. Okay.
Mini rant, yeah.
A mini robotic rant. Since I'm some electrovert, I should say.
You were pretty pissed off earlier.
Robot. But yeah, I heard that and I was like, what? No, Tom Brady is not the most skillful. He may be the best, the GOAT, the winner, the most rings, any other achievements, but he's not the most skillful. Because skill is defined by somewhat factors that don't contribute to winning Super Bowls and having rings.
Boom!
You know what I mean? So, do you even have to be a football? Do you even have to play football to be the most skillful? I'm just wondering. 'Cause
Well,
you could do that on the treadmill and somewhere else, and I suppose.
I guess you could look good in practice.
Yeah, practice. Why do you even have to play? So.
Hey, stop.
So I don't know. Is torque one of the factors?
Yeah, but Brady has torque this
But
year.
he does have torque.
Brady
yeah.
has a lot of torque this year. So.
So yeah, that kind of. So I don't know. I've listened to his show every once in a while, but it hasn't been, I guess, in a long time, and I was in shock of the ridiculous things he says. So.
Okay.
Just.
Tapasio, Milena. Tapasio says
Yeah.
this is a perfect line. People confuse spectacle with skills. All right.
Yeah.
So let's look at skill.
So.
How is Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes more skillful than Tom Brady? So of those three, who is the best at pre-snap reading? Tom Brady. Who makes the most accurate throws? Okay? Now, this is one thing that people seem to have some kind of weird belief.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes occasionally makes weird-looking throws sometimes that they assume it's more accurate. And accuracy also is not dependent upon completion percentage. That is also one of the dumbest things that people use for accuracy. Accuracy is actually something that you can't define numerically for the most part. It's actually something that you see constantly as you're watching. And when it comes to accuracy, the most accurate quarterback in this regard, in this term of this definition I've ever seen, is not Tom Brady. It's actually Kurt Warner. He is probably the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen. Now, what do I mean by accuracy? It's not completion percentage. Completion percentage, you could stand out there all day and just, throw, slant routes for 5 yards and all kinds of stupid crap, and that doesn't mean I'm accurate. It just means we're making a lot of completions. It doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. So that's wrong. But the problem is that people don't understand throwing from the pocket. They don't understand the angle. It is literally harder to back up into the pocket, to be stationary, and hit a guy to the deep left or the deep middle, all right? Deep right, deep middle right, all those spots, okay? Standing from the pocket is actually the most difficult place to make those throws. Your vantage point. Now picture yourself, the quarterback. And the next time you watch Brady, okay, tomorrow, guys, when you're watching Brady, picture yourself being him and look at what his viewpoint would be at eye level. You have a bunch of crisscrossing, a bunch of mixing up, and the angles are terrible. The angles are terrible. For someone who is a mathematician and stuff like this, would say that this is nonsense that anybody could ever be this accurate with a ball the way Tom Brady is, okay? To drop these balls right in as everybody is crossing these patterns and consistently do it every time within an inch of the defender and always be correct, that's accuracy. I watched Kurt Warner do it, I watched Drew Brees do it, and I've seen Tom Brady do it. Running around, if you run to your left or to your right. Now people make a big deal out of this. Oh my God, he's running to his left and he makes that sideline throw. You've actually increased the odds that you're going to complete that pass. You've actually increased it. You've actually made it easier by running. So running to the left or to the right, because now you're able to run with your receiver. You're able to move. And now the defenders, anybody in the area of the receiver, doesn't know what's happening, is not really sure what's going on, because everything is now off the grid. Everything is out of sync. It's not within the confines of the play now, because the quarterback has left the pocket. Once the quarterback leaves the pocket, everything has changed. So when you're running to the side, and I want you guys to try this. If you guys have kids or whatever, and next time you're out playing flag football or something, I want you to try to hit a target from the pocket, far away, and then I want you to run to the side and then try to hit it. And I bet you'll try it, okay? You will find that that is actually easier. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's easier than pocket passing. Pocket passing is the most difficult thing you can do for a quarterback. And because it's not sexy, as they say, it's so stupid to say that, but because it's not running around, people assume that a pocket quarterback is not skillful and not accurate. And that is the dumbest thing you can say. I'll repeat. It is easier to run to your left, to run with your receiver, and hit him that way. Because actually, while you're running, your body is contorted, okay? So now your body, just because of physics, can only throw in that one lane in front of you. No matter what you do, you could be Tim effing Tebow, and you're going to hit that lane, okay? That's not the case from the pocket. From the pocket, you can screw up on every direction. In every direction, you can screw that up. But running, the physics literally force you to almost be pretty close to your target. And that's what I'm trying to say. And it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So no.
It's just amazing.
So Tom Brady is the most accurate of those three. And we'll get the next. I'll finish this thought process after I get these awesome super chats.
Yay.
Michael Brown, is this the first one of the night?
I think so. Yeah.
Michael Brown, the first super chat of the night, sends $10 and says Brady's best skills are leadership and judgment. Those are the most important skills to create success. Thank you very much, Michael. Absolutely. That was next on my, that was not exactly next immediately, but that's on my list of things we're going to cover, and you already beat me to it. That's a great super chat right there. Well said. See it twice. Daniel sends a $5 super chat and says, Brady is less skillful because he eats avocados while Mahomes and Rodgers eats torque chops. I said sarcastically.
Yeah. Whatever they do better apparently doesn't work. So, maybe change your definition of skillful to signify leading to winning, And then on the same show, they were talking about how impressed he was with Aaron Rodgers during this game. You know who I was more impressed with?
Football
baby, of course. He fought until the end, and he almost had it against Aaron Rodgers, and he's football baby. I mean, in football terms, he's a baby, and we know why they call him that. I didn't invent that, by the way. It's from that. What is that from? This cartoon?
It's from a cartoon.
Yeah, it's from a football cartoon.
By Bleacher Report.
Yeah. So anyway, but I like that, and I was really impressed by him. I was not impressed by your performance. And where's that from? I don't know. Maybe see it twice.
That's George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
I am not impressed by your performance, Aaron Rodgers. No. And of course, he comes as a hero and says, well, our team, we had no weapons and all of that. But did he not have weapons? Did he have less weapons than many other successful games. Several of Tom Brady's games, didn't Tom have less weapons actually at more important games?
Well, Tom Brady did win a Super Bowl without Gronk. And is anybody going to say that anybody on that team on offense other than Tom Brady are Hall of Famers? So, no. All right. There's no substance there. You're absolutely right. And so we've got Tom Brady is more skillful in pre-snap reading and accuracy. What else is Tom Brady better at in the quarterback position? Tom Brady is better at decision making. This is in the moment decision making. Once the ball is snapped, you have to make a decision. Tom is the best. When you need to find or throw a receiver open, and what that means is a receiver is heavily covered, but you've got to make a throw that is going to actually get him open. That, and I should do a video about that because I've had a lot of questions. People ask me about that. But Tom, I think, is the best at that. Does Tom throw as far as Mahomes? No. Tom has thrown that far in the past. In 2007, he could throw that way, but that comes with training, particularly to do that. And also, he's 43 years old, so he can still bomb it though. He still can throw. He still can throw as far as most quarterbacks can, but Mahomes is probably got one of the stronger arms in the league. Okay, is that relevant though? I know a lot of quarterbacks in the past who have been able to throw it far, but it really doesn't amount to a damn thing. So
not a damn thing if you're not. It's not that relevant if you're not. I mean, I'd say if, let's say, positions were reversed and it was, Tom Brady that we're talking about, and then you have to support it with those wins, and you're like, see, he is that, and then go argue. But no, Aaron Rodgers has not reached that level of being a winner, so how relevant, is that? It's not the ultimate thing. So how can you call them more skillful?
see all that running around he just did? Is Aaron Rodgers better than Tom Brady at that? Yeah, he is.
At running around?
At running around, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's athletic.
With Patrick Mahomes, I'm not that sure. Patrick Mahomes is slow, man. I have no idea. To this day, I still have no idea how so many people don't clobber his ass. But yeah, he still runs better than Tom. I mean,
yeah.
But okay.
So there are Olympic runners who run faster than them. Are they best overall?
When you know what, Milena? When I see a quarterback running, you know what it means? It means, first of all, it means that the play broke down. And usually, it's not always the case,
yeah.
But usually it is they couldn't find their second or third read and they bail. Now, a quarterback usually has 4 reads, sometimes 5, it depends, that are actually good reads because you don't have time to get that far in the progression, okay?
Yeah.
Normally, you can't get that far in the progression. You're going to get sacked. And Tom is able to know if his first or second or third, up to third read is covered almost right after he gets back into the pocket, gets in his position to look around the field. He already kind of knows where it's going because he sees the defense. He sees how they've covered it and if they've guessed correctly on the play. So he's going to skip to his 4th immediately. All right? So Tom doesn't have to move. These guys move, and I usually it's a tactic that reflects being scared. Okay? It's usually a tactic that says, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm panicking. I got to get the hell out of here. I've got to bail. So there are exceptions where running as a quarterback is your biggest asset. Okay? The rare exception, very rare. Okay, so you've got, well, Randall Cunningham did it, but Randall could throw as well. You had Steve Young, who could run and make something happen, and he could throw as well. Michael Vick, his primary move was to run, and then later on in his career, when he got with Andy Reid, he started developing his throwing. But when he was a Falcon, running was just as good as a quarterback who could throw it, as far as his skill level, as far as how good he was at it. Lamar Jackson is also similar. Mahomes and Rodgers aren't that good of runners to be constantly fleeing the pocket all the time. It's also terrible for your offensive line. So what does Colin Cowherd mean by skillful? What is he talking about?
That's right. What's your definition of skillful?
Welcome, new subscriber. Welcome, new citizen, Warren Johnson. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, so what does he mean here?
Right.
They think that showmanship and flashy plays mean skill.
Correct. And these are professionals on major TV, on major news, sports news.
Well,
they're not even, they've been there forever, and they still, think that, and that is very unsettling for, being a fan and just.
Well, that's the reputation, though. That's.
Yeah, I feel like they're doing it on purpose. They just need the clickbait to say things that don't make a lot of sense. Otherwise, what, everybody's gonna agree Tom Brady is the best and that's it? No, that doesn't work for them.
Yeah, but the thing is that people don't understand is what you're seeing visually is not always what it appears to be.
Correct.
It's not always translating, and defenses don't like to play Peyton Manning. They don't like to play Tom Brady. They don't like to play guys like that, and it's because of, they really, no matter what you throw at them, they kind of have an answer for it, and they don't panic and they don't freak out. With the case of Mahomes, he is still, to this day, freaking out, running around, things like that. And there are other quarterbacks who are doing that, and I don't want to go down a whole long list. But then you got, well, I guess Aaron doesn't do it that much, but he used to, though. In the early parts of his career, he definitely did that. Actually, he started around 2010, 2011. I started noticing that he was just constantly doing that. But then he kind of went away from it. I think that's because of injuries and stuff. But his reputation is that. So people still think that that's the thing. But I don't know. I don't understand what that means exactly. How can you just say more skillful? Why don't you just say there are some of the great skilled quarterbacks? They're all skilled in their own way. Regarding Aaron, particularly in this game, I sent a tweet out, guys, and I said, will all the Tom Brady haters claim that Aaron Rodgers got bailed out by his defense? Now, that was a joke. I was being sarcastic. That is the most overused line when it comes to quarterbacking or when it comes to anything. Oh, the defense got bailed out by, or quarterback got bailed out by. Okay. The game is so complex in a way that one dictates the other. And everyone's got to do their job. So if your defense gives you a turnover, you as a quarterback have to cash in. You have to convert. You have to get something done with that. If you don't, then you don't score, and you make the defense's turnover or the defensive stop, you make that a worthless, kind of, and it kind of takes the energy out of the team. So if as a quarterback, let's say your defense gets a turnover and you cash in as a quarterback, you get into and you score, everyone's like, well, of course you did, because his defense got him to stop. They act as if that's a gimme. They act as if that was supposed to, always happens, and of course it will. No, just because your defense gets your turnover doesn't mean that you're going to score as a quarterback. But if they don't score, if they don't convert, then people are the pitchforks are out, like, oh my God, it's blah blah blah, So it's just really silly to me. So I don't really believe that. Aaron, I thought, played well despite not having very many yards. But again, stats, guys, context. Stats and context. It's about, did you do enough? Now, there was a play I'm not happy with, for Aaron's sake, if I was a Packers fan. It's this one. That defender was in Aaron's face the entire time, and Aaron still tried to attempt it. There was a very, very low percentage that he was going to complete that. I don't know why he threw it. I don't, I know it's fourth down, but that's just weird to me. Maybe if he stopped and the defender runs past him, then you could possibly get something there. But that was a weird play. But yeah. So the Cardinals get the ball. They go down. Kyler Murray has this great drive, and then the now infamous the AJ Green play. So what did Aaron do to deserve that game, right? That's what people would say. Well, that's what people would say about Brady too. Well, the defense didn't really bail Aaron out. The defense got lucky. The ball went right to him, okay? AJ Green wasn't paying attention. If AJ Green was actually just doing his job like he's supposed to, that's a touchdown, and the Packers lose, and they lose because their defense gave up a 98-yard touchdown drive. That's what it would have been. A 98-yard touchdown drive in the final minute of the game. So you can hardly say that the defense bailed him out. Every single thing that is done in a game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, leads up to that crescendo, that very final moment. People seem to have trouble understanding something I like to call the chain of causation. It's not a real term. It's a hilarious term that was came up with on one of my favorite shows, but it's not a real term, but it actually fits what I'm referring to. Chain of causation. Basically, one thing dictates the next. So a quarterback has to have the way he's playing has to dictate what happens next. Could Aaron have put the game away just there on fourth down? Yes, he could have. Kicking a field goal isn't enough. The Cardinals would only be within 6. You need the touchdown here, but you're still you're still ahead. You're still in the lead by 3 points, and if you don't convert, you put the Cardinals on the 1 or 2 yard line. That's a pretty good position to be in, to be honest. So just remember this, Packers fans and Aaron Rodgers fans. Remember this the next time Tom is having a game and he doesn't make the final play, as where Aaron didn't make the final play for him when he had the ball, and then the defense comes up with something. Just remember that. Remember that this is just how it goes sometimes. And it goes both ways. How many times has Aaron bailed out his defense? How many, so it's like, okay, I helped you last week, you helped me this week. I screwed up this time, I need you to get my back. How many times does a quarterback say, hey, I need you, man, talking to their kicker. We couldn't get it done on 3 downs. I need you to nail this for me. Thanks. Or how many times has a quarterback bailed out the kicker because he missed a kick that put him in behind, or missed an extra point? So it's a back and forth thing. What you really need to look at is, do these quarterbacks win a lot? And yes, does Aaron deserve credit for getting the win here without his primary targets? He was missing 3 guys, I think, 3 of his best targets. Yeah, he gets credit for that. Okay, cool. That's great. But am I going to throw him a parade? No. Why? Because this isn't the playoffs. This isn't the Super Bowl. This is a regular season game. I'm going to give him credit, though. I'm going to give him props because this was against a very good team on the road in Arizona, even though half of the stadium was Packers fans. So I'm not sure if that the crowd thing played a factor. But I'm going to give him credit for it, okay?
Okay, give him credit.
That's it. That's it, though.
But if you had to pick between him and Football Baby, which one does realistically deserve more credit of where they got? Given that, you know, it was just that mistake at the very end. If it wasn't for AJ Green missing that,
Yeah, it wasn't
for
Football
whatever
Baby's fault.
silly reason,
Yeah.
they would have won. Would you still give Aaron Rodgers that credit? I mean, Aaron's been in the league for how long, and he's got this history. So I feel like,
Well, no, but Melanie, what I'm
give
saying is,
more
if
credit.
Kyler, if AJ Green catches that ball,
Yeah.
the Cardinals win, right?
Exactly.
Then Aaron Rodgers will be remembered for this game as the guy who had that incompletion I just showed.
right.
Okay, so he failed on 4th down. Then he is the GOAT of the game, lowercase GOAT. Now, see, before people came up with the term GOAT, greatest of all time, GOAT used to mean the guy who screwed up,
Right.
the bad guy. That's what it used to mean, lowercase.
So he
So-
becomes all of a sudden, to me, becomes a hero just because of a miss of the other team.
Not a hero, not a hero.
Well, I heard some people really make him sound like a hero. Like, wow, I was really impressed by what Aaron Rodgers did. I'm like, wait, is that really the talk of this game?
I hear you, man, and I think
Yeah.
overall,
I feel like
I think Kyler was
Colin should be getting the credit.
you know, played really well, and he should be people not talking about that drive. That drive Kyler had at the end was phenomenal, guys. That
Yes.
was a
He really
excellent
fought for it.
excellent drive by
Yes.
him. He made that happen. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying though that people get carried away when a great quarterback all of a sudden struggles and does something bad, and then the defense does something good, and then everyone's like, "Oh, the defense bailed him out."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, isn't this? You know, we could go all day back and forth about that. You know, but I'm just saying that people need to chill out. But just remember that the next time you want to crep on Brady, if something like that happens.
Correct.
But these great quarterbacks, Aaron and Favre and Brady and Manning and Brees, how many more times have they helped their team out as opposed to needing their team's help, you know, to bail them out? And you look at that scale, and that's kind of how you gauge it there. We have a $5 super chat from Donnie. Take a pick 1313. He says, to Callan Cowpat and the pundits, skill means athleticism.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So whatever. But by the way, Kellen Coward is obnoxious a lot of the time. He says things, I think, just to get a rise out of people. I don't know what his deal is sometimes, but yeah, maybe he just says random things. So we're talking about him. We are talking about him. We're talking about his show right now, and
It's
we're
hard not
we're
to talk
promoting it.
It's one of the
So-
main shows out there, you know, so.
But there you go. So, all right. Before I move on to the next topic, I just want to see what you guys are saying. How's it going, Roman?
Good. Let's go.
Can't wait to. Well, after the show, we'll watch that. So. So let's see. Ry Davis, welcome, man. Rice Cream Man, welcome. Mahomes ran a 4.8. He is slow AF. He's very like I can't understand it. Rice Cream, do you remember in the playoffs there was people kind of like circling around him, but nobody would tackle him. It was almost as if there was some kind of force field around Mahomes, or he was doing some kind of Jedi mind trick where nobody could tackle him. It was very strange because he was just running so slow. Yeah, Pickle Dick, Daniel Jones is fast. Pretty fast, yeah, for a quarterback. See, Pickle Dick says Rodgers better than Brady because because faster, therefore, Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson go. Yeah. And you know what? What's interesting about Michael Vick is that he started developing his passing game at the end because he got with Andy Reid. Now, had he not gone to jail, the Falcons had hired a new coach, Bobby Petrino, who was known for developing quarterbacks. And had he not gone to prison, Bobby Petrino probably would have developed Vick. So we would have seen the Eagles' Vick earlier on in his career, and that would have been a very dangerous thing. And Lamar could be that. He could be what Vick could have been before he went to prison, or after he went to prison and went to Philadelphia. But Lamar's much younger. So Lamar could be very dangerous in a few years if everything gets kind of consistent, because he's been inconsistent. One year he's good, next year it's kind of flat, next year is good again. So we'll see. But yeah, he could be a very dangerous quarterback going in the future here. What's up, John? Ice Cream Man says Rodgers actually doesn't run around as much. He's gotten the ball out quickly this year than normal. Yeah, this year. Yeah, he doesn't do it much anymore because he's older. But and almost all of his injuries came when he was running around like an idiot. But that's the reputation now for him. That's what people think about. So, and I just want to point out, because I noticed the other day I was talking to someone, and we live in a society now where if you say something, people think that you mean extremes. So if you say anything, they mean one equals the opposite of the other. So if I say Tom Brady is better than Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes at throwing from the pocket, people will think, oh, then that means Aaron thinks that Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers can't throw from the pocket. Like, why? That's not what I said. I said Tom is the best at it. Of course they can throw from the pocket. Okay? Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks that's ever lived. Of course he can throw from the pocket. But like I said, now it's like you've got to be you've got to be overly clear about what you're saying. And it used to be the art of conversation. Remember, the art of conversation used to be there was assumptions that you just understood what the person was saying and you knew what they meant.
Yes, and some things are said for
and it's just,
a dramatic effect even.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you're crapping on the other guys. You're just saying one is a little better than the other, or better than the other, or you prefer this one over the other. But people assume that if you say that, it means that you absolutely hate the other one, or you think that the other one sucks.
Yeah, like the one time when the Patriots didn't play that well, and you pointed it out, rightfully so, and then somebody wrote on one of your forums, oh, that's why people will leave your channel, whatever, because to him it sounded like you were not.
I was saying the Patriots are garbage and never going to win a game again.
It's just being realistic.
Because I was critical of one night.
Yes, and by the way, actual Patriots players said
the same thing, and
saying.
Edelman said the same thing I said.
Yes, Edelman said that. Correct. So.
Ken Flagler asked Vaughn, what, and by the way, guys, again, I just want to repeat, if you're talking to me, always put @ so I see it. The only reason I saw this comment, because I can see the super chats because they're lit up, and that's also the benefit of paying, is that you make sure that your comment is read. But other than that, if you want to say something to me, you want me to read it, put my name in the beginning. So Ken Flagler says, Vaughn, what is your thought about Tom Brady's comment about defensive players? Yeah, people are making a big deal out of that. He was just kidding around. He was trying to say that the guy, okay, so here's what Tom said. He was on Peyton Manning and Eli's Monday Night Football show.
Yeah.
And he said if you go and you go into the defensive room and just kind of listen to what they're talking about and how they are, these guys are different. They're a different breed, and you know that's why they're defensive players, because they're all about action and aggression, and they just think on a different level, or a separate way of thinking than an offensive player. And he said a lot of times these guys are just car chasing, like a dog chasing a car, but in this case, chasing a football. He didn't mean it as an insult. He was saying that they're instinctual, that they're reactive, and they've got that kind of. Defensive players have said this over the years. To be a defensive player, you got to have few screws loose. You got to be a little crazy, a little odd. But that's all he meant. And I swear, Tom Brady, man, whatever he says is taken out of context. Or not taken out of context, but exaggerated or interpreted into a weird area that makes no sense. But also, speaking of that, Tony Romo, do you remember when on Sunday when Mike Evans gave away Tom Brady's 600th touchdown pass? So he caught it and then he gave it to a fan. Yeah. And then they tried to get it back, and the Buccaneers guy was negotiating with the fan who had the ball. Tony Romo makes a joke and he says, I would be trying to negotiate a date with Giselle.
Good one.
I laughed. I thought that was hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And I was thinking, not a bad deal. Okay.
Totally.
Oh no. Guess what?
Oh no.
Everyone started whining about it. Oh my God, it's so sexist. Why would he say that about Tom Brady's wife? What's Tony Romo's problem? Why is Tom Brady, or why is Tony Romo trying to pimp out Tom Brady's wife? And why would he talk about her like that? Like she can be traded or bartered like an object.
What?
Guys, just a few years ago, that was a regular comment. That's just something you say.
That should be a regular.
That is a massive compliment to
While
Giselle.
human beings exist.
How is that a bad thing? It's a joke. It's a young guy get a date with a supermodel. Like, it's a joke. It's obviously a joke.
Yeah. If the roles were reversed, I mean, I can say, hey, I'll get a date with Tom Brady. Is that like sexist, or was it a problem? Some kind of a problem? I mean, it's complete bullshit.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just everything that's said now is being taken and repackaged, and it's just, wow, just when you think it doesn't get any dumber, so.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Vic had a huge arm. Oh really? He's right-handed. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, Michael Vick, man, he could back up, and I watched him. Okay, I watched Vic flat-footed just stand there and just flick it, and that thing goes 50, 55, 60 yards. Insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, Steve Young was a left-handed thrower. I didn't know if he was right-handed. Tapasio says Rodgers' mechanics are ugly. If you thought they were ugly, you should have seen him coming out of the draft. You never seen ugly like that. I think the ugliest mechanics I've seen other than Aaron Rodgers coming out of the draft was Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. Great football player. Can't play quarterback. No, can't play quarterback. Okay. That's one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
Herm Edwards. Salman Batre says Brady haters used to say he is a system quarterback and that it was all Belichick, and now they've shifted to he has a stacked team, and it's never because of him. It's always very irritating to hear. Well, that's the definition of a hater, and that's also the very definition of what we call Brady derangement syndrome. So it's a sickness. It is the world's largest, okay, let's not get crazy, not the world's, the country's largest pandemic is Brady derangement syndrome, in the sports world at least. The cure is this channel. So just tell people that if you find out they have BDS, just tell them it's okay. It's not the end. They can survive it. They can get past it. The problem is that it infects different types, not just humans. It infects animals and all kinds of things. I mean, it infects rams. It affects Seahawks. It infects falcons. I mean, it's very weird how it's specific on the animal kingdom. It infects Bengal tigers. It infects lions.
Even dolphins.
Dolphins, yes. I mean,
especially airplanes.
Exactly. What's even crazier is that it can actually get into the engine of a jet.
I know something about
Got a jet fan over
machines here.
Yeah. But yeah, just tell them that it will be okay. It will be okay.
We have the cure.
Yeah, Ken, I like Edelman on Inside the NFL. He's awesome. And I like how he's telling the truth. Okay. So I got that out of my system. Okay, so I posted this stupid. All right, so for those you don't know, Patrick Mahomes' is little brother. I keep constantly ragging on this kid because he's making Patrick look like a freaking idiot. But I need to know something. Is he mentally deficient like the little brother? I need to find out, because if he is, I'm going to stop picking on him, because I think that his dancing and all that stuff is that they're enabling him to be active. This is the kid who poured water on a fan at the Baltimore Ravens game. Then he danced on like an idiot on Sean Taylor's logo, which they say that he didn't know that, but okay, whatever. That's fine. But he just has a series of weird events happening, and he dances like a total jackass.
Yeah.
And this recent one I posted on Twitter, it's just the way he's acting, like he's doing some kind of like, but then he does that. It's totally ridiculous. It's uncoordinated. It's not dancing at all. But then he looks so proud of what he's doing, and I get the vibe that he's kind of, he's
proud of himself.
He's proud. He's proud of it. And then you see the family all encouraging it, other than Patrick, he just sits there embarrassed, like, what the hell's happening? But the rest of the family encourages it, and it makes me wonder: is he maybe?
Yeah, I think he's crying.
Is there something off about him?
He's crying for attention.
Because if there is something off about him, I'm going to stop making fun of him.
Yep.
But if there's nothing wrong with this dude, then oh my God, he's just a complete.
He's trying to attract attention. However, he needs to find out that maybe if he wants the same attention that his brother has, he has to actually achieve something. So far.
I mean, I get it. It's not easy to be the little brother of Patrick Mahomes, right? But still. The family, Mahomes' family, they come across to me as, and this is weird, by the way, because the father is a former pro baseball player, but they seem to not be able to handle success like this under the spotlight and with social media and all that. They don't seem to be able to handle it. Like the mother, Patrick Mahomes' mom, is a nut job. And she's constantly going after fans and stuff. And I was like, I've never seen a player's mom do that, really.
Well, it's not very classy.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe it happens a few times. Sometimes every once in a while, but I've never seen it so consistent. And Patrick's wife is just acting like a complete idiot all the time, getting in fights with fans, lying about fans, like she lied about the Patriots fan until he posted the truth of what really happened. But I don't know, it just seems the whole family is just kind of nuts. But yeah, I just kind of wondered about him. So here's something I found interesting. Roger Goodell says the NFL still has not made a decision on Deshaun Watson. He says, quote, "We don't feel we have that necessary information to place him on the exempt list." Really? All right. Where was that amazing wisdom when they were investigating Bountygate? When they put the reputations of those Saints players and put the reputation of the coaching staff on display for everyone to laugh at and be pissed at, where was that when they didn't even have evidence? Where was that when you suspended Tom Brady for 4 games? This is the same guy who suspended Ray Rice for 2 games, not because he didn't have the tape. No, he suspended him 2 games because he thought he was the only one with the tape. And then when it got released through TMZ, another copy, different angles and stuff, that's when all of a sudden the outrage came. Now, it's nice that he finally is having this kind of viewpoint regarding Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson has not been charged with anything yet. So you can't really, I don't know, it's kind of a slippery slope, right? But my problem with this is not that he's saying this about Deshaun Watson, it's just where was that back then? And the reason it wasn't there is because Bountygate was a way to scapegoat the Saints for the NFL's cover-up of CTE. So they needed to send a message that they were taking player safety seriously. The same league who just added a regular season game and an extra and last year added an extra seed to the playoffs for player safety, except where profit is involved. Nice. So why didn't he have this thinking process with Deflategate? Because we all know why. They needed to stop the Patriots dynasty. All of the owners in the league were completely fed up with the Patriots constantly winning and constantly being in the AFC Championship game, and they needed to stop it and do something about it, and they tried, and it didn't work. In fact, the year you suspended Tom Brady for 4 games, he won the Super Bowl. You idiots. So you guys remember a few weeks ago I said that Roger Goodell is more like a politician? Now, I didn't know his background, actually. I didn't know it that well. And I looked into it because one of our subscribers here, I think it was John. If I'm getting whoever said that wrong, I apologize, because I want to give you credit for it. But you pointed out that his dad was a senator. Yeah, it's a lot deeper than that. So his dad was a senator. His brother, I think, is a politician, or his uncle or something like that, was also a politician. He has another brother who is gay and married to a guy. And then his wife, Roger Goodell's wife, is a former anchor for Fox News, for the political, one of the political shows there. So I didn't even know that. I just said that Roger Goodell comes off as a sleazy politician. And
is he trying to appease different?
It's just, yeah, it's obvious.
Or?
It's obvious, but why? Actually, let me read the quote first, if I can find it here. Okay, so ESPN announced that the DC lizard people, they will not release the report on them. Okay. The women who were a part of that, who were the quote-unquote victims, because we don't actually know what happened because we don't have a report on it, asked a lot of the other owners to release this report. They won't, but they did release emails that made John Gruden look like a total asshole. They ruined John Gruden's career, and they probably ruined, by releasing that. Okay, so whatever, fine. But it was done to take away from what the DC Lizard People's team was doing, aka Washington Redskins. There was a full report released for Spygate. There was a full report released for Deflategate. There was a full report released for Bountygate, but not this. Why? Because they protect each other. The owners, they're in the club. You're either in the club or you're not in the club. And Gruden wasn't in the club, but that piece of crap snake owner of the DC Lizard People is in the club. Just more Roger Goodell type garbage. So I said, got it. I wrote on Twitter. So Gruden is the scapegoat while you protect the biggest pieces of shit at the top. The NFL is run exactly like our government. You're either in the good old boy club or you're out, and most of us are out. Effing snake. It's disgusting. It's just... Or how about when Robert Kraft got caught in Florida, and they had evidence of that. They knew he did it. He did do it. And when you get back, you cut Antonio Brown based off of an accusation. So you cut Antonio Brown based off an accusation while you yourself was in Florida, getting a happy ending in a massage parlor. Rules for thee, but not for me. That's the name of the game now.
Hey, we have a super chat.
You want to read that for me, Melania?
See It Twice sends a $5 super chat. One thing Gruden was cited for was sharing nude photos of cheerleaders. So if he is the only person worth implicating, did he share them with himself?
What? Is he joking or is that serious? I hadn't even heard that.
Well, he must be sharing them with somebody. Who has he been sharing them with? So who's the other? Who are the other people looking at those photos, basically, right?
Okay, my point is I'm not saying whether or not Gruden did anything wrong. That's not my point. Whatever, yeah, okay?
That's like,
my problem is you gave us a catfish when we want to know about the shark, okay? We want to know about the whale. But you give us this crap. Nobody gives a crap about John Gruden's emails or anything else, okay? I mean, for Gruden's sake, he should have called Hillary Clinton's people, and then those emails would have been disappeared real fast. But he didn't, so. But anyway, just saying that's not the point here about Gruden. The point is why it was done.
right.
To protect the DC Lizard People's owner. Okay, I'm looking for something here. Joe Flacco, he looks happy being back on the Jets. Oh, here we go. PETA says that the baseball world should stop using the term bullpen in favor of animal-friendly arm barn. Okay, so I am a big animal person, as you guys know, but this is just insanity. And when you do stuff like this, no one takes you seriously for the real stuff. So, I don't know. You would think that PETA would have like a PR department or something, and that would say, hey, yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
That is completely idiotic. What are you doing? But hey, we seem to be getting a lot of this lately. From everywhere, all kinds of stupid stuff.
It's just ridiculous.
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 Oh, okay. Mike Tomlin. I want to talk about Mike Tomlin for a second. I know that you guys aren't Steelers fans. I'm not a Steelers fan either. They're one of our biggest rivals, right? Well, I say rivals, but Tom Brady owns their asses. But anyway, his name has been thrown around for the new head coaching job at USC. And they kept asking him about it. And he finally got fed up with it and just said, stop asking me this. I don't want the job at USC. Why would I take that? He says, no booster has enough money, can write a big enough check for me. Okay? And his reaction is something that I can agree with. I'm not a big fan of his. I think that his dysfunction, the dysfunction that he allowed with the Steelers organization all those years, wasted a lot of good talent. I think Ben Roethlisberger should probably have a few more Super Bowls by now, based on the kind of stuff that they had. However, what he said was completely phenomenal. And it's massively insulting to come at a guy who has won a Super Bowl in the NFL, who has gone to 2 Super Bowls, who's been to, 3 AFC championship games, or 4? I think it's 3. 3 AFC championship games, has never had a losing season. He is the head coach of one of the most prestigious teams in league history. He is only the 3rd coach in Pittsburgh Steelers history. That's insane. And you want him to go and take a job in college. If that was me, I would be completely insulted. What, you think I can't handle the NFL anymore? You think I suck now this bad that you want me to go and coach a bunch of children and sit in parents' homes to try to entice their little high school, their little minions and their little procreations, and try to bring them over to my college and say, ooh, rah, sis boom bah, come over to the UFC because we're so great, or USC because we're so great. Yeah, that's massively insulting, dude. And the way Mike Tomlin put it and the way he said it was just so perfect. It was exactly my sentiments precisely on how I feel about the college game versus the NFL game.
What did he say?
What I was saying is he said, you can't write a check big enough for me to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I go leave the Pittsburgh Steelers? Why would I leave this organization to go coach college? Really? Like, he said it really well. I can't remember exact quote, but it's just perfect. So after the show, go look it up. It's amazing how he said it, but it's really good. But usually what happens is that when an NFL coach goes to coach college, it means that he failed normally, Normally, it means that he failed. There's rare cases where you did achieve some good things in the NFL, but you went to college because just you got a better offer, or maybe you had some problems in the NFL with the ownership, like Jim Harbaugh, for example. He was a 49ers coach. He took them to a Super Bowl. They were pretty good for a little bit, and then he went and he took the Michigan job, but he was offered like a decade contract, crazy amount of money. It was the college he went to. So for him, and he hated Jed York and the people at the 49ers. So that was like a very specific circumstance. But for the most part, you get the Bobby Petrinos, for example. I mentioned him earlier, who told the Falcons that he's staying with them, and then a few days later, he leaves the team, doesn't tell his players, and they're watching him sing Pig Suey in Arkansas because he took the head coaching job for the Arkansas Razorbacks. What a douchebag, all right? Or then you've got Nick Saban, who's considered the greatest coach in college history. I would agree with that. He was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And he was supposed to change that organization and do great things for them. And he didn't fulfill, what he was brought there to do because they couldn't, he claimed that he had everything he wanted on the Dolphins except the quarterback position. But the Dolphins are the ones that declined Drew Brees and said, no, we think he's done because of his shoulder injury. So Drew Brees said, okay, Dolphins, fine. You don't want me? I'll go to the Saints. So the Saints enjoyed all those years of being good because they had Drew Brees. So Nick Saban left the NFL because he couldn't handle it and went to college and became the greatest coach of all time. So if a guy that mediocre in the NFL, that mediocre, can go to college and become the GOAT, why would Mike Tomlin go to USC? Why would you do that? So, yeah, that's usually the case, the Chip Kellys of the world and guys like that. Greg Schianos and stuff, all those dudes. Yeah, like I said, Jim Harbaugh was the exception, the rare exception, but his circumstances, if you look at them, it kind of makes sense. I don't think Jim ran away from the NFL. In fact, I think Jim Harbaugh is a better NFL coach. I think he belongs in the league. He does not belong in college. I think he needs to come back. I think he could do great things in NFL, just like his brother, who's a really great coach as well. Wow, I see my name quite a bit. All right, Satire Junk asked me, don't forget about the messed up things the Colts owner has done. Yes, Jim Irsay, how many DUIs has this idiot had? Helped orchestrate Deflategate, and yeah, total loser. CHY says, that was something they said he did. Yes, my point is that he shared them or received them from someone. Obviously. Okay, I didn't know about that, man. Because sometimes you make jokes, and, I didn't know if that was a joke or not, but I didn't even hear about that. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Blacker58 says, did you see the ESPN meltdown where everyone started crying because John Gruden made fun of someone's lips and deemed it racist? No, I did not. Well, I did see Randy Moss, I think, crying about it. But you know what I think is really pathetic? It was when Mark Brunell cried over Deflategate.
But that's like real crying with tears?
Yeah.
Come on, God. Come on, man.
CHY says, Tomlin said, never say never, but never.
Yeah.
And how many times are the Dolphins going to swing and miss on superstar quarterbacks? Forever.
Yeah.
They're the Dolphins. Sorry, Milena, I know you're partial to the city of Miami, but the Dolphins suck ass. They suck.
I was not a football fan when I lived there, so no big deal. No hurt feelings. Still love Miami, but
Again, that's why you never let a Hall of Fame quarterback go.
true.
It's been over 20 years and they've still not replaced Dan Marino. You just, Green Bay, I'm talking to you. Don't let Aaron Rodgers leave your organization. He's going to leave, but I would handcuff his ass, to a radiator or something, and do it Saw style, like lock him in a room and have that guy with the mask saying, "I'd like to play a game," and then say you can either stay with the Packers or you have to cut yourself free with a saw by cutting your foot off. Okay?
Yet better, you can sing him a song. And ask
Yeah, that would creep him out actually, because Chris Sims creeped him out. So.
Forever and ever. You guys know the rest.
Okay, turbulent velocity. All right, I did say that he was the GOAT of college. I complimented him, but he was a terrible head coach in the NFL. I'm just stating facts here. So facts don't care about your feelings. I've heard that said before. It's a very famous saying, actually, from a very famous person. Okay, so Sherry decides to pile on and uses her membership powers to do a highlighted message. Which, by the way, when you guys are members, you get one highlighted message. It's the same as a super chat, but you get one per live show for free that YouTube gives you. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess I used up mine.
Turbulent Velocity says, and celebrating 2 months of membership, thank you very much. And she says, Roll Tide. Yeah. She's been an Alabama fan for a long time, even before Nick Saban. In case anyone wants to say that it's bandwagon or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what Donnie Thomas here said. Buffalo has missed for years since Jim Kelly. Miami and the Jets went back and forth with Pennington. Yeah, Pennington was pretty good. I actually liked Pennington, but he was not, what you need to, what you're looking for to replace someone like that. And he says, it's hard to find these guys. Everyone isn't going to be a Joe Montana or Steve Young, or Joe Montana to Steve Young. That isn't normal. Absolutely. And Green Bay got very fortunate that they went from Favre to Rodgers. That doesn't happen very often. And San Francisco went from Montana to Steve Young. But most of the time, you don't get that. And that's why I say don't let those guys go when you have them. You ride them out. You ride them until they can't play anymore. You stick with that because it's a sure thing. But people always want the new thing. And on Wall Street, it's called FOMO, fear of missing out. It's when you see something going crazy and you don't want to miss out, so you do something stupid and you overpay or you invest without really looking into it. It's called FOMO. You FOMO'd, all right? And a lot of these owners do that when their draft is coming. They're like, oh my God, this guy's the number one pick. He's a lot of hype. So I guess I'll let Peyton Manning leave, and I'll let Peyton Manning go to the Denver Broncos because I want this guy, or whatever. And yeah, no, don't do it. Don't do it. The phrase, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, couldn't be more relevant to this. You've got a sure thing. You've got it. Write it out. You have no idea what these rookies are going to be like. You have no idea what's going to happen to them. You can evaluate them. And besides, the NFL's evaluation on rookie quarterbacks sucks ass. Okay? The number one thing they miss, all they look at is stats. Oh my God, did you see this guy's arm? Oh my God, did you see? Look how he runs around. Look how he throws the ball. Okay, that's great. Oh, he's a winner. Oh, I love hearing that one. He's a winner. Okay, well maybe he was on a great team like the Alabama Crimson Tide, who is a de facto NFL team, right? And that's why Mac Jones is the only good quarterback that's come out of there and that we think is going to have a good career, but we'll see. But they get locked into that. And they don't interview them properly. They don't get into how they think. They don't put them on the spot and put them under pressure. That's what you need to look at. Mac Jones passed that test, but most of them didn't. So Justin Herbert passed that test, and now you're seeing it. Mahomes passed that test. Russell Wilson passed that test, and now you're seeing it. You're seeing what that is. They all go back and look at their interviews. All those quarterbacks I just named, all four, go back and look at their interviews and watch how they carry themselves. Watch how they talk. Watch how they come across. It's all the same. It's very similar, very mature, very down to earth. They seem to be able to just, they're charismatic. And I'm telling you, charisma matters, man. Charisma is a part of leadership. It's the one thing Aaron Rodgers is missing. He has no charisma. He's got the charisma of a dead frog, okay? And not just any dead frog. A frog that's been ran over and its tongue sticking out like.
That's not what Chris Sims says.
Well, I don't care what Chris Sims says. Chris Sims wants to have sex with Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just saying, imagine if Aaron Rodgers had Tom Brady's leadership. It matters, man. Okay, so Dennis, yeah, there should be a. Let me try this here. Okay, I guess I don't know how to do the highlighted members or the comment. Do you know how to do it, Milena?
Yeah, if you just click on the dollar sign, you have super sticker, super chat, and one more thing, which I don't have anymore because I used up mine.
Oh, okay.
So there's like 3 options. And I believe any user will have that at least once. Yeah, Michael Brown used his. Oh no, it's super chat.
Michael Brown just said $2 super chat says, "Hey, dead frogs are people too." Now, I'm going to have to explain this. The one person on earth, or one of 3 people on earth, who knows that reference that I just used, is Michael Brown. And he just happens to be watching tonight. That phrase, dead frog, was about him.
Okay.
He is referred to, when we were kids, he was referred to as dead frog when it come to coordination because of a joke. Not that he's uncoordinated, but this guy was messing with him and said, "You got the coordination of a dead frog." And that's always been a famous saying within our family. And, you know, Mike was practically as a family member because he lived with us, you know, ever since I was a kid. So he's practically my brother for all intents and purposes. So this is something that's always been in the family, is dead frog. We use that as an example, but it's just funny how I use that term, and Mike happens to be watching the show tonight. So, good one.
Yep.
Is it only 1 message a month? That's crazy.
I don't know. I've had it only one time.
Did you see it Twice's comment?
No.
He says, "Dennis, it's one of the many sanctions we have on Germany. Sorry." Sorry, Dennis. You're gonna have to call. You're gonna have to call Washington. You're gonna have to call D.C. to get that worked out.
Yeah.
So.
The Washington's diplomats.
Very underrated comment there. See it twice. Nicely done, man. Nicely done.
Yep.
Okay. Let's get to the picks for tomorrow.
What do you guys picks? You can do that in the chat again.
Yeah, tell me what you guys think as well.
Yeah, Dennis, the lizard people will definitely help you out.
The lizard people, yes.
Yeah.
they'll help you lift the sanctions. I mean, I'm sure you can get it done. We're giving trillions of dollars away for no reason. So just, I'm sure you can easily get the sanction lifted on the 1 month, subscription comment. So.
Yep.
And guys, if you're watching, please click the like button. Thank you very much. Every time you click the like button, an angel gets its wings. And every time you click a like button, another Jets player has to go to a psychiatrist and get mental health. It's just great. It's great for the world. It's great for the country when the Jets are tormented. So make sure you click the like button.
It's great for football, and football unites the nation.
Unless you're a Jets fan.
Unless you're a Jets fan. We have a friend over who is
Roman's here.
a Jets fan, so.
Well, he was at a Jets game. He claims he's a Giants fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I would be saying that too. If I'm from the tri-state area, I would be saying that too. Like, oh, I don't like the Jets, the Giants. Oh, okay, how convenient. They've only got 4 Super Bowls. So, perfect.
Hey, we have another super chat from Mike.
Michael Brown. Michael Brown says $2 super chat and says, I picked Giselle in a floss bikini.
Ooh, wow.
Are you trying to get me kicked off YouTube?
Wait, but that's what she does.
You sexist. Yes, we're not allowed to point out the obvious. Did you not know that?
That's her profession. YouTube or whoever's watching and thinks it's a bad thing to say. That's what she did.
Okay, so we have. Wait, what the hell? That's idiotic. Isn't it awesome when Google gives you an article from a year ago?
Oh, yeah.
Like, why would I want that? It's like YouTube. Have you guys noticed on YouTube when you're watching something and then it moves to the next video and you're like, oh, okay. You think it's updated and it's a video from 5 years ago? It's like, why are you giving me this? It's if you're watching sports news or something and it gives you some, it's like, special report, Tom Brady leaves the New England Patriots. Huh? That's, or Peyton Manning retires.
Yeah, it should definitely be set up that if you are watching something, the next video that gets picked up automatically is something relatively in the time period of where your current video was, or most recent. But nope.
I mean, last night I was trying to look up stuff for UFC, and all of a sudden I found myself half asleep, falling asleep at the computer, watching the top 10 unsolved murder crimes that have been solved, or something like that. And I heard this woman's voice talking about some missing person in Germany or Poland or some crap. I was like, huh? And how he hung himself, and then his body rotted in a barn, and he decapitated. I don't know. How did I get there? How did I go?
I can see the connection, but hey.
How did I go from watching sports to that? I don't even know. Like, it's so weird. So, but the algorithm knows, apparently. The all-knowing algorithm. Okay, so I'm getting off track here. You guys got to punish me when I go off on tangents. All right. Bengals at Jets. Holy crap, this sucks. This is awful. Who cares? Okay. As you guys know, the Jets, the Jets. Huh. Maybe they should change their name. Like Facebook did. When you suck so bad that you've got to come up with a new name so people doesn't associate suckage with you. The Jets should change their name. Bengals at Jets. The Jets complained about us running up the score last week on them. Okay? Boo-hoo. If you don't want us to score, stop us. If you don't want us in the end zone, stop us from getting in the end zone. This isn't high school. This isn't college. You're not babies. Okay? You're not children. This is pro sports. I will run up the score on your ass all day long as you're letting me do it. Okay, Milena, are you going to stop me from picking the Jets?
No. It's the Jets segment.
You're not going to stop me from picking the Jets.
Are you really going to pick up the... Oh.
If
okay.
I pick the Jets, if I pick the Jets and they win, I'm going to look like a freaking genius.
Okay, I already picked the Bengals, but go ahead and pick whatever.
Roman,
you feel.
as a Jets fan,
It's a childhood Jets.
the
fan. Okay.
5-2 Bengals at the 1-5 Jets. The Jets got destroyed. We put up 54 points on them last week.
Yep.
Who wins this game?
Bengals. You said Bengals?
Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jets fan anymore.
You're not a Jets fan anymore. How convenient.
I was when I was like 4
What?
or 3.
Oh, okay.
What made you change your mind?
Likely story.
Yeah.
I know a lot of New York fans and tri-state area fans who conveniently have switched to the Giants over the years.
Yeah.
I guess I can't blame them.
I also left that state. I don't want to go back.
I know.
Is there anyone who's picking the Jets?
No. Oh, except drunk Jets fans. Well, that's obvious. Saying a drunk and Jets fan is redundant, but it's obvious.
You have to be drunk.
This team, their slogan says, this team makes me drink. Okay. Titans at Colts.
Titans for me.
Okay. The Titans have been doing some interesting things this year and beating teams that we didn't expect them to beat. But at the same time, doesn't this seem like one of those games where the Titans just screw it up? Like they always find ways to screw it up when you least expect it. Kippenov picked the Jets by 40. I love it. I love it. That is ballsy right there, man. But it's going to be an absolute destruction by the Bengals. But it will be hilarious to watch the Jets beat the Bengals, because it'd be hilarious because the Bengals organization as a whole is just complete garbage. So I can't stand their owner. The Titans should win this. The word "should" is
Was it wishful?
an interesting word in the NFL
Oh.
because it almost never goes that way. I like the Colts for this game. This is, again, a division game, so don't expect anything for certain. I'm going Colts here, even though they're 3-4. Rams at Texans. Come on. That's too easy. Rams. Do I even need to talk about that? Steelers at Browns. This is an interesting one. For Addie's sake, I hope it's the Browns.
Yes. I was going to say.
But the Steelers are going to win this one.
Hmm.
Eagles at Lions. All right. I keep doing this. The Lions are going to get their first win against the Eagles. The 0-7 Lions are going to win tomorrow.
Nice.
By the way, the Lions have won the last 3 games in a row against the Eagles. Not that that matters or anything, but it is a fun fact, and it just shows you that I know. It's impressive, right? I mean, my God. Well, that's what they do on ESPN and Undisputed. They just they just shout out stupid shit
Yeah.
and obvious facts, and then they're like, "Ain't I a genius?" All right. 49ers, the 2-4 49ers, which should not be 2-4. But again, there's that word should. At the 3-4 Bears, I have no idea who the Bears are. They are who we thought they were, or they're not who we thought they were. Don't know, don't care. 49ers win this game. I don't care who is the quarterback tomorrow. San Francisco, I'm all in on San Francisco. The 3-4 Carolina Panthers, the pretenders that I said they were after they started the year 3-0, and everyone was like, "Oh, Sam Darnold, he's a good quarterback." Sam Darnold, his problem was that it was the New York Jets. And I'm like, no. His problem is that he was selected by the New York Jets. The fact that he was selected by the New York Jets meant that they have something wrong with him because they can only pick shitty. Okay? They pick bad on everything. So yes. And now that's a reflection of the Panthers. At the 3-3 Falcons, the Falcons win this straight up. The 1-6 Miami Dolphins. Isn't it lovely? At the 4-2 Bills. Despite this being a division game, the Bills are going to absolutely demolish the Dolphins. 3-4 Patriots at the 4-2 Chargers. We wanted to go to this game but could not for certain regulations in the Los Angeles area that we will not get into here. But I did want to go. We did want to go, but unfortunately cannot. Am I smelling an upset? Or is that just too much cologne I put on? Oh, well, what do you think, Roman? Patriots? Can they get the win tomorrow here in LA against the Chargers?
How are the Chargers doing this year?
They're good. They're 4-2.
Really good.
They got a great quarterback.
I don't know.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Mickey?
Wishfully, the Patriots.
Wishfully.
Well, yeah, meaning I.
So
wish...
you don't.
I'm sorry.
Do you feel like they're going to win, or are you're hoping?
I have no feelings for it.
Braves win what? Braves won the World Series, or they won a game? I don't even know anything that's going on in baseball, man. Oh, 3-1 series lead. Good for them. Good for Atlanta. That city needs a win. $28-3. Sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay. But I am going for Atlanta. Dear God, Atlanta, do not change your name. You're the Braves. Just stay that way. Be brave and stay the Braves. Oh. See, here's the problem with picking Patriots games. Now,
I know.
I want to tell you guys something. I do not bet on Patriots games. Never. I've never bet on Patriots games because I just want to give you guys advice. Never bet on games with your favorite teams. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. But if I pick the Patriots to win this game and they lose,
You lose.
I look like a homer
Yeah.
and I lose. If I pick the Chargers to win,
You-
I look like I betrayed my team, my favorite
Exactly.
team. So maybe I should just not make a pick here.
Yes. I pick. So,
And you picked the Patriots.
yes, I did.
So you picked for Von Allen Sports.
Yes,
So Milena is going Patriots.
I'm going Patriots.
Jaguars, the 1-5 Jaguars at the Seattle Seahawks, who have no Russell Wilson and who has another Jets quarterback starting for them, Geno Smith. So, of
And
course, great things happen when a Jets quarterback is starting for you. Against the 2-5 Seahawks, even with Geno Smith as quarterback, I still don't think the Jaguars can get a road win in Seattle. I just don't see it. I'm going Seattle there.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Yeah, they're going to win in spite of their Jets quarterback. Turbulent Velocity upgraded her membership to Centurion, Master of Games. Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Climbing up that ladder in the empire. Keep going and we'll issue another villa somewhere in Sicily. Pretty good weather down there. All right. The DC Lizard People, the 2-5 DC Lizard People at the 3-4 Denver Broncos. Yawn.
That's a tough one. And not for football reasons.
Wow.
I'm not a Broncos fan. But I don't see myself picking the DC Lizards either.
I am picking the DC Lizard People.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
See It Twice upgraded his membership to Centurion Master of Games. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it. It's awesome. Very awesome. Where do you want your villa at? See It Twice. Gaul? Germania? Hispania? Africanus? Thracia? Thracia.
And we're soon offering on other planets.
That's the next level. Okay, yeah, I'm picking the Lizard People.
Yeah.
All right. Buccaneers at Saints. The 6-1 Tom Brady Buccaneers. There's no point even calling them Tampa Bay. Tom Brady Buccaneers at the 4-2 Saints. I think the Saints are pretty good. And I like what I've seen from Jameis Winston. It's nothing spectacular, but I do like what I've seen from him so far this season. But it's not enough. The Saints have won 5 straight regular season games against the Buccaneers, 2 of them going back to last year. Tom Brady is coming for revenge. I know that Tom beat them in the playoffs, but this is a regular season statement. It's about last season. He wants to beat them in their own stadium. He's coming for blood. He's going to put up 40, okay? 40 or more on the New Orleans Saints. The Sunday Night Football game on NBC. Dallas Cowboys 5-1 at the 3-3 Minnesota Vikings. Is Dak playing? If Dak is playing, yes. If he is not playing, Vikings. Monday Night Football, Giants at Chiefs. Oh, dear Lord.
Okay.
I just cannot see the Giants beating the Chiefs.
No.
I can't. In Kansas City, on Monday night,
No.
I don't care how bad people think the Chiefs are playing right now. They are not going to lose this game. All right? The
Chiefs.
Yes, Chiefs all the way. I know it's a boring pick. I know it's an easy pick. But
Yeah.
I know people are crapping on the Chiefs right now, but they're not that bad. They're not that bad to lose to another New York team. I mean, you got to be a real loser, right, to lose to any New York team. Boy, I'm just on a roll tonight. I'm feeling it. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay. All right, so there you go. There you go. We'll see how it does. See how I do. So check this out. I'll post this for you guys.
Your picks or?
No, an image. I want to show them. So I just found this on our Facebook group. Someone posted it. This is a meme that came from NFL memes.
Oh.
The difference between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers can get it done with literally anyone. Tom Brady needs a loaded offense and top defenses year after year after year. This is an example of the exact opposite being true. The only problem is that this person is serious. So my biggest problem here is the sentence that says Aaron Rodgers can get it done with literally anyone. Get what done?
Yeah, exactly.
Winning a regular season game against the Cardinals on Thursday night?
Barely.
Is that getting it done? Is that the standard? Does this person not understand that one of Tom Brady's, one of the biggest things he's known for is winning Super Bowls with literally no one?
And no time.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Go look at his targets in Super Bowl 36, Super Bowl 38, Super Bowl 39. Look at his targets. Super Bowl 40, well, obviously, Super Bowl, it's funny, actually. So Super Bowl 42 and Super Bowl 46, he had great targets, and they lost. It was very strange. But then you have Super Bowl 51 where you had no Gronk.
Yeah.
And no deep threat. And look at, he went to the Super Bowl against the Eagles. He didn't have his favorite target, which was Edelman, but he did have Gronk. He had Amendola, but Amendola's not exactly an all-pro or anything. He's not even a Pro Bowler. In fact, Julian Edelman's never even been to a Pro Bowl, although I think Pro Bowls are a bit overrated, but it just shows you, that they're not that upper tier that he's talking about, that this meme person is talking about. And then against the Rams, come on, really? Really? So Tom finally has weapons on his team, finally, at the age of 43. And people are acting like this has been his whole career. Aaron Rodgers, for one effing night, doesn't have his best guys and pulls out a win. And all of a sudden, that is what happens? That is what people are thinking? So the problem with this is that this had thousands of comments. Thousands.
You would think Aaron Rodgers had like a complete blowout game, right?
Oh yeah, like the Packers
owns them.
destroyed them.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
not destroy them. He barely won.
Like he threw 5 touchdowns.
Of the other team. So what are you talking about? Why are they turning him into a hero? I get it. He didn't have his usual weapons, but that is not.
But that's the problem, though.
Compared to.
Why can't you just say? Why can't people just say, "Man, good job, man. He went in there and beat a great team." He did. He went in there and beat a great team on the road. That's awesome. Without his guys, that's great. That is great. That's cool. Okay. But why say that?
Yeah.
That is absolutely idiotic.
Yeah.
It's just weird. So, I don't know. I just can't you just compliment? Can't anybody compliment a quarterback without shitting on Tom? Is it what this always is? Is that? I don't get it. It's just Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. You don't have to say the other thing, you don't have to do that. It's just
just don't make ridiculous statements.
I don't know. All right. Oh, I missed the super chat. Turbulent Velocity sends a $5 super chat and says, "I want to be a resident of that villa." Well, which one? Where you want it located?
The one on Mars?
Where in the Empire? Where in the Empire do you want it?
Oh.
Oh, we have a member comment. Marcus 415 celebrates 2 months of membership. Thank you, citizen. Marcus says, let's not forget Rodgers nearly gave the game away by failing to score at the goal line. Yes.
Exactly.
So it was blocked right in his face. But apparently that wasn't important for their narrative there to say something that was completely idiotic. But, yeah. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, guys. This has been a fun night. Thank you for putting up with my complaining tonight. But actually, it wasn't really complaining. It was more of just kind of joking. But
I think they enjoy your rants.
yeah,
Some people
hopefully.
are looking forward to it.
Please click the like button, guys, if you don't mind. It definitely helps the channel out.
Yes, and if you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. This way you will be notified when we upload new content, when we go live, etc. Thank you.
Absolutely. And so tomorrow night, we are going to go, we're going to do the post-game show or the post-week wrap-up in the evening like I always do. But next Friday's next Friday's show, or next week's show is going to be on Friday, because on Saturday we have our debut of the Mental MMA, but which is now called, it's not called that anymore, but the MMA show called Von Allen MMA that we only do once a month for each pay-per-view. So just keep that in mind. The ES Live is going to be on Friday next week, and on Saturday is the Von Allen MMA. It's our first one, so be there. Please be there. Support it. Be there for our first episode because it's going to be cool. And we want you guys there with us. And we're just going to talk about everything UFC. So I'll read a few more comments and then we'll get out of here. Phil Williamson says Rodgers hasn't got it done in over a decade. I'm just not sure why they would post that. That's just weird. I mean, Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback. I don't know why you have to say those things, and especially things that aren't true. So the dude says, oh boy, love a Tom Brady party. You must not be familiar with this channel. Israel P says, don't forget Brandon Cooks got injured right away. That's right, he did. He wasn't even there. He got knocked out. I don't know what the hell he was doing running in a circle. The dude, who is shipping on, okay, I think you mean shitting. Who's shitting on Tom? LOL. Some of us just don't think he's the GOAT because you can't compare Joe's 10-year tenure in a league that was much more brutal.
Okay.
All right.
May have to address that at another show.
No, I have a documentary already made that
yes.
completely and utterly,
Would somebody like to share?
or it
the link?
explains that and thoroughly. But
Yeah. Go watch that documentary.
yeah. See it twice says, let's go, Brandon. Oh, well. Phil Williamson says, was the league that much different in 1993 than it was in 2001? No, it was not. In fact, I would argue that it was more brutal from 98 to 2009-ish, maybe 2007. More brutal than in the 90s because that was a head-hunting era. And the knee hunting era where they're going after quarterbacks' knees and heads and trying to kill everybody. And it was just out of control.
Yep.
So there you go. But that has nothing to do with it anyway. See, the dude, one thing that I just want to say, and I'm not coming at you or anything like that. It's not like that. I'm just wanting to say that with era, the problem with trying to compare any athlete in a sport with his, the former athletes in different decades and where the game has changed significantly. The problem with that, it is true, there's issues with statistics. So you can't judge volume stats, for example, volume yards, because that means something different depending on the rule changes and stuff. physicality. Okay, well, that can be argued as well, but at the same time, the other quarterbacks in the league also are enjoying those benefits. So if Joe is getting, brutalized in the 80s, well, so is Dan Marino, so is John Elway, and so is everyone else. So it's an equal playing field. What it means is that Joe's defense is also enjoying getting to knock on the other quarterback as much as Joe's getting hit. And then in Tom Brady's era, if Tom Brady is enjoying, well, actually right now, presently, it wasn't always like that for his career. People seem to think that Tom Brady's only been playing for 4 years or something. But if it is, and it is easier now to score and get statistics, but Tom's opponents also are enjoying that same thing. So what you've got to do is you've got to gauge it based on their peers. And then once you've got the best of each decade, which Joe was the best of his era and Tom is the best of his era, now it comes down to the one stat that transcends all eras, all sports, all stats, everything, and that is, do you win? And for a different position in football, like a linebacker or a running back or something like that, winning isn't the main stat. It's not essential. But for a quarterback, that is the stat. It's the only position that we attribute wins to. So we attribute wins to coaches and quarterbacks, and that's because the quarterback is the most important person on the field. He touches the ball more than anyone. He has more control over the outcome of a game than any other player, and it's not even close. So winning matters. And everything Tom has done, he had already slammed the door on that years ago. But after he leaves New England, then goes to Tampa Bay and does it with a terrible head coach, Bruce Arians, wins in his first year without a preseason, injured at the same time. Nobody even knew about it. Although we had suspected something was weird because he kept sailing his throws. But something was up. But anyway, I don't even know how there's anyone left to even argue that he's not the GOAT. Like, it's baffling to me. That one point about, you used to be able to hit him harder, but you have to understand that in 1979, they were saying stuff like that. They were saying that, why don't you just put a skirt on the quarterbacks because of the new rules? Jack Lambert was complaining about this. He was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was saying that. Why don't you put a skirt on them? He was saying that in 79. So they thought Joe's era was soft. Okay? They thought Joe's era was soft. So we're always going to use that. People are always going to come up with that. And then in 20 years, people are going to say that about now, which is hilarious, right? And that's true. It does change. But winning is transcendent. Winning is winning. And it's just... The only time winning that doesn't work is when you go back so far in time, like the 1930s and 1940s and stuff like that. Then it's not really the same thing because the league, there's only a few teams. It's not as competitive. There's all kinds of things we could go over on why that may not necessarily be the case. But pretty much after the merger in 1970, that is true. That is a good gauge to go by, is winning, and how good were you against the other guys. And the quarterback position was even way different back before the merger. It was way different game. So it's hard to compare. So. But yeah, I get it about the stats, and that's why that's why I in the documentary, I did a documentary called Montana versus Brady, and I did not put Tom's bulk stats as an asset against Montana's. I specifically mentioned that. I'm like, yeah, I could, but we could throw them. A lot of people would. Most people would probably do that. They'd say, oh, look how many yards Tom has versus Montana. Well, that's a little misleading. The stats have to be contextualized. So bulk stats, I'm not that impressed by bulk stats as I am what accompanies the stats. And that's what matters, and that's what we looked into. And it's just almost impossible now to not think that Tom is the GOAT. I don't even know how anyone would really rationalize that argument, to be honest. Except for just because, I'm just talking in factual terms, as long like if you're looking at, but of course everyone's entitled to their opinion or feel the way they feel. So, but Joe was definitely the GOAT before Brady, though, and I always felt that way. For me, Joe was always the GOAT. Even when Tom needed 4 to tie Joe, I said, no. Tom needs to get that 4th, and then he needs to get a 5th just to kind of shut the door on this, because there's always going to be questions. So Joe was always my pick for the longest time. So. All right, guys, thank you so much, and for being here. And the dude, come back anytime, man. We love having opposition here, where we love having people who don't agree, and so it's not just an echo chamber, because we don't get a lot of that, though. We don't get a lot of people coming in, and as long as you're civil about it, which you clearly are being, we'd love to have you back. So subscribe and be with us in the future. So that's you're welcome to be here. So thank you so much, and thank you all for being here tonight. It's been a great show. I've had fun, and happy Halloween to all of you. Okay? Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.
Flag on the play if you're not subscribed to Von Allen Sports. But once you are, we'll make it up to your team in the 4th quarter. You're watching Von Allen Sports, real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now and join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go.
Von Allen Sports.